I asked you, my viewers, for some Terraria hot takes, and boy did you deliver. Mediumcore is the best way to train for harder difficulties or harder modes. It also forces you to strategize and be creative. Okay, so that's an interesting take, actually. It's saying that it's harder, so it makes you actually get better, while also not being as punishing as hardcore. Like in Mediumcore, you could actually get to the end and, you know, practice against those enemies. So, I mean, that's good. That's good. It works out. Agreeable take. Skeleton archer should not exist. No, those are fine. All you got to do is simple dodge. See, they can't hit a target if they want. Oh, if they wanted to, they just can't hit me. I should do this way. There we go. Okay, now we know if it's going to hit me. Boom. Boom. Ouch. Okay. Boom. Okay, this is the second hot take, though. We got that people shouldn't rush Golem right after playing Terra. She unlocks three out of 4 things? 3 out of 4 things to do before Golem. Golem also unlocks 3 out of 4 events and also end game, which makes people skip most of the things which are really fun and give you great equipment. No, this is pretty good. I don't know exactly how hot of a take that would be, just because I don't know, because it's true. I think that it's there's a lot of stuff in between Golem and the cultist, so you really do need to, or you really should engage with those things, and a lot of people don't actually do that just because, you know, cultist is available, so they just kind of go and fight cultist. All right, happiness mechanics are pretty cool. It's a newly added immersion, a newly added puzzle to try and place people with others they can tolerate, where they operate best, and it endorses build variety, gives way for people to find and utilize pylons. I like to humanize them. Oh, humanizing the NPCs. Even the Tinkerer. Whoa. All right. Respect it. I respect it. The happiness is actually kind of it sucks. Because I feel like the only way to really know what you're doing is to look it up. I mean, who's going to go to the bestiary and figure things out? Imagine that you are totally blind, you have no idea what's going on, you don't know that happiness is a thing, and then maybe you find one pylon on accident just because of how you built some of those early houses. Then you try to build other houses and you can't get anything. I don't know if that would actually work. I do think it's good because it does make you build houses elsewhere. I used to always make NPC hotels. I don't do that anymore because then I don't get my lovely little pylons. But at the same time, it's rough. It can be really rough. I bet there's a lot of people who don't even know pylons exist. All right, we gotta go on. We're going on to the next one. What do we got next? Expert mode is the ideal way to play the game, even if you are a new player, because enough challenge would be hard, but it's easy enough so you can actually beat it. That's got a lot of likes. What do we got here? Depends on players' taste too much. Said hot takes and not objectively correct answer. This is just a fact. This isn't a hot take. Not me struggling to beat journey mode for the first time playing. Coldest take. Oh dear. I mean, that's fair. It's probably not that spicy. It's not that hot of a take, right? Is that a very hot take? Master mode is goated. See, a lot of people like master mode. I know that there's definitely something to be said about the master versus expert versus like classic crowd. Basically, classic mode is for the people who are new to the game, and people will say, yes, we understand you're playing classic, but once you beat classic once, you're expected to immediately move on from that. I feel like expert to master is less of a jump than classic to expert. Part of me wants to say stick with classic first, because if you stick with classic and then you go to expert, you suddenly get some new stuff to play with. It's actually really interesting. I like that it would build upon each other. Seeing how I got banned from a multiplayer server from this might be worth mentioning. I actually like fishing. Fishing quests. What? My question is why? How did you get banned from a multiplayer server for doing fishing quests? That is my question. How did you accomplish this? Why would someone ban you for doing that? That's my only question from it. Moving on to the next one. The guide is the most helpful NPC in the game, especially for new players. He also has to exist to spawn one of the most important bosses of the game. I don't know about that. Calling the guide one of the most helpful NPCs of the game? Nobody thinks that. No, hold on. I am a believer. I am a believer in the guide. I think he is just a wonderful man, you know? He's great for the new players, you know, figure out recipes. I am always forgetting recipes. I need him. But who would be more helpful than the guide? Just use the wiki. But if you're lame, you just use the wiki. If you're a lame-o, you have the guide right here who will help you. He will help you on your journey by telling you, look at this, look at all these amazing things you can craft. And by the way, I'm even going to tell you exactly what you need to craft it. Whoa, wait, what is that? Wait, what did I just find? What did I click on? See, I didn't remember that the coffin minecart was even a thing. That's what the guide is here for, discoverability. Why would you use the lame old wiki and rely on other resources when you have a built-in wiki right here? He's a beautiful thing. All right, next hot take. What do we got here? The twins are the hardest mech boss easily. Okay, no, that's based. That is 100% based. All right, the twins are disgusting. I did my whole no-hitting thing. These guys took forever. Granted, no-hitting is going to be a lot different. But the twins are just awful to try and deal with. That was a very, very based hot take. I approve very strongly. All right, we got another thing on Mediumcore. It isn't hard. Get out of here! I have a video. I have literally a video saying it's the hardest difficulty. You cannot come at me with that nonsense. It's just tedious. I mean, it is tedious. Yes. You keep literally everything. Not if you die too many times. The only challenge is difficulty comes from getting your items, which is made much easier with pylons, teleporters, potions. Hardcore is a real challenge because you can't afford to make mistakes, unlike medium core. Also, melee isn't fun. just throws that in there at the end. Melee isn't fun. Medium core is the hardest difficulty if you value your sanity. Medium core drove me insane, all right? It drove me insane. Moving on to the next hot take. The rope bundle you throw is overpowered. This is one action. So I had never, ever use rope bundles. So here, let's go over here. Let's grab ourselves a rope bundle. Why would these things be helpful? Oh, it's a rope coil, but whatever. That's just great. All right, and again, and again. Okay. What if can I attach it to the bottom? Oh, no. What if I throw it here? Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's how rope coil works. But how is this OP is my question. Say you encounter the same situation. We just saw what you will do with a rope coil. You'll throw it once, twice, 3 times, you know, hoping that your aim isn't super off, and you'll get there. Great. You can be over here and be like, wow, boom, and now you have all this rope. Great. Why don't you just, you know, walk here and just, you know, kind of just build up like this? Why don't you just do this? Why? How is the rope bundle? How is throwing this thing more helpful than just simply go up? Say King Slime is harder than I Cthulhu. Oh, that's actually interesting. Hold on. See, I don't know if I can agree with that. Purely because King Slime, you kind of just gotta stay up in the air and shoot him from a short distance away. Granted, these Servants of Cthulhu, easy money, not going to be a threat. But its dashes at the end, those can kill you if you're not as knowledgeable of a player. Granted, I guess with King Slime, you probably wouldn't know to be as far away, but it's pretty simple. He's bouncing. You run away from the bounces. Maybe in classic mode, I could see King Slime being harder, maybe, because the dashes aren't a thing. But once you get into Master, those dashes they're a killer. Fishing is underrated. I have literally never destroyed a single demon altar in hard mode after I learned you can just fish up the ores. So I've destroyed like maybe 10 demon altars total. There's also a lot you can do from them, like almost everything you need from Terra Spark boots, almost everything from bundle of balloons, bundle horseshoe balloons. Only way to get otherwise limited source items like Crimson or Corruption Orb drops, which is fishing because quests are pain. No. People hate fishing because it's fishing. Because it's fishing. That's why people, okay, so I have, while doing When You're One World, become more warm to the fishermen. You know, fishing is pretty all right. See, the problem with fishing is that it is very boring. You just sit there and fish for a while. There are ways to increase your power and make it so it's less of a pain. Okay, there's a hot take. Fishing is super fun. How? Okay, hold on. There's something. All right, give me a fishing rod. All right, tell me, what about this is super fun? Are you having fun yet? Is this a good time? Is this solid gameplay? Why? How is this fun? You're sitting here. It is, yes, fishing is fun for gambling addicts. Because you're like, what am I going to get? Oh, red lobster. That's crazy. Let's roll those slots again, boys. All right, what do we got? An oyster. That's double the lottery in one. All right, what do we get? A shucked oyster. Let's go. What is fun with this? I need a detailed analysis as to how and why fishing is fun. Now, I do agree. Fishing is underrated. It is very powerful. If you actually dedicate yourself to fishing, you can be very strong. Although I do question this person's sanity. Not breaking demon altars anymore? You only ever fish? I did this in When You're One World. It took hours, many hours to get all the ores through fishing. It takes forever, and I had a maxed out build, if I remember right. There's no way you do that every time. Break some altars, boom, 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 and then you go and get your ores, and at the same time, you collect souls along the way, which are helpful for other things. Fishing is underrated, yes, because it is very powerful. It is not actively fun, and it is not how you should go about getting your hard mode ores every single time. Next take, Queen Bee is one of the most balanced bosses in the game. The attack pattern is easy to learn for newcomers, but still easy to mess up for veterans. The damage is appropriate. The drops are great for the stage of progression. It's the only pre-hard mode boss I actively look forward to farming. The arena's natural block palette is cool and one of the few with utility. Just an all-around solid boss. Okay, that's actually interesting. But I don't know about most balanced one, because it's pretty easy to skip her. See, Queen Bee, I don't know if she really has easy patterns, but at the same time, when I was doing no hitting, I was thinking, oh, okay, now I know this and this and this for the sake of doing it perfectly. But you don't need to do that as a new player. So you still get a good gist of what the attacks are, even without needing to, perish a terrible death. Because I do think that you might be onto something here. This Queen Bee, those dashes, those are really easy once you know what you're doing. Just simply jump. And then these stinger things, if you know, you can go under the first one and get around, but if you miss the first one, then you're probably going to get hit. You can go over them. The bees are just bees. And there are certain ways to minimize them as a threat, but they're also just bees, so they're not that big of a deal. Other than just meat shields. I mean, you might be onto something. Queen Bee is an interesting all-around boss. I do remember, though, there was a time early on, I was never able to beat Queen Bee pre-hard mode. I only beat her in hard mode. Next hot take. If it was not easy to cheese, Destroyer would be the hardest mech boss. And if all bosses were easier, they would be the easiest. So if they're harder, they would be... That's not... Well, but it's literally hard or easy because you can cheese it. I don't think that makes sense. If the twins were a worm, they'd be easy. The easy boss. I don't know if I'm defending this the right way that I should be, or in the most eloquent way. But yeah. Next one, Journey Mode isn't the Weenie Hut Junior way to play. It's fun if you want challenge. You get difficulty slider. The duplication is balanced. You have to beat a boss 3 times to get 3 treasure bags to duplicate. It's just a nice, especially for a builder. Okay, I respect that. I don't see any reason a builder should do anything but play in journey mode, because it's journey mode and you can duplicate all the blocks, so you can really focus on your craft that is building. So I think that makes a lot of sense from a builder's standpoint. So I think that works. But let's say that you're not a builder, all right? Let's say that you're not a builder. Now, if you have to get 3 treasure bags, I think that's fair enough. Like 3 treasure bags and you don't get what you want, at that point it's like, okay, now it's starting to get grindy. 3, I think, is the max. That's a very good balance. A non-journey player, I mean, the fact that you have a difficulty slider makes it all a wonky experience, so you kind of just can curate each boss to your own desires. I think it would make sense for a new player to do journey mode. It would help them figure things out and learn, while also giving them the opportunity to gauge just what Terraria means by difficulty. Because different games, well, sometimes the normal, oh, it's quite difficult. Sometimes normal is really easy. So knowing or having an ability to change it mid-world without needing to restart a world would actually be really nice for a new player, so they can gauge exactly what kind of experience they want. To take Flask of Nanites is pretty useful. Flask of Nanites? That's not a thing. That's not. What? Melee whip attacks confuse enemies? Hold on. It says confuse. Does that mean that it's guaranteed? Drink. It's guaranteed? This is actually really good. This is far from a flask that you would want to use against bosses, of course. But holy cow, against invasions, yeah, this would be amazing, especially as a summoner. You'd keep enemies away so you are fine while your summons do all the damage. This is actually phenomenal. All right, I'm gonna have to actually use this. That's great. What is our next hot take here? We got Master Mode is overrated. All right, that has made a lot of people very angry. Where's all the sweaty Terraria players gonna come out of the woodwork bashing this person? I dislike how people call you trash unless you beat it. Yes. All right, we don't need all this gatekeeping saying you have to beat Master Mode. All right. Good, you sweaty players. Not everybody's as good as you or has the time to be as good as you. Very true. Very true. It destroys the main point of Master Mode being Master Mode. Anyone who beats the game without cheating is a good player. Okay, I don't agree with that last sentence. Beating the game without cheating being good. That doesn't make you a good player, all right? If you beat Classic, I'm sorry, you're not a good player. You beat the game, congratulations, you've made a first step, but that doesn't make you good. It's Classic, it's not that hard. However, you don't have to be Master Mode to be the best. It's Master Mode. Yeah, very true. Only masters should beat Master Mode. Yep. All right. Next thing, chest management is simple and easy to do. Is that a hot take? Is that a hot take? Guys, please tell me that's not a hot take. Is it? That can't be, right? If that's a hot take to you, you are very disorganized. I'm talking to people who play Terraria. All right, that's a hot take. All right, next hot take. Daytime Empress is pretty easy as long as you have something to go up. What? No. But then again, dodging upwards is always going to be your best bet against Empress. I mean, that's actually fair. Like, I guess right now I'm very casually fighting Empress and doing a good job at it with gear that I would theoretically, well, I guess I wouldn't have infinite flight, but I haven't even flown that much, so it would be fine. Like, this actually isn't that bad. All right, you might have a point. You might have a point. So long as you're able to move upwards, you can probably dodge most of her attacks. You do need some downward movement. I've fought Empress so many times that my opinion on her difficulty is probably pretty warped. Especially since I do know that Empress was the boss that took the longest out of any boss for me to beat on tier. But even so, I mean, it's not that bad, all things considered. Mostly just because Empress is a predictable boss. Like, she has a very clear pattern with very clear telegraphs. Okay, I don't know how base I can say this is, but it's definitely a lot more base than I thought it would be. All right, next hot take. People say expert mode is the definitive way to play the game as a newcomer. Need to understand that expert mode is hell if you're still learning the ropes. You don't know where to look to get powerful weapons, and equipment and progression would take forever. Wow. All right, very strong opinions. I can respect it. I can respect the strong opinions. You have to remember, most people in this chat aren't normal Terrarians, and we forget how hard the game is for new people. Like, exactly. Like, the people, that's the problem with gaming content in general. The people who watch it, the majority of the time, are going to be the better players. The reason they're watching content on the game is because they're invested in the game in some way, which has driven them to play a decent amount, which then means that they have improved and are at least adequately equipped to play the game relatively well. So a new player wouldn't have any of that context, wouldn't be able to do that. New players should just get good. Okay. I think the heart of the comment being that, hey, guys, get off our back. Expert, like, let us play classic mode because you don't understand. We don't understand this game. We don't know it like you do. We need to not have our bottoms handed to us because we need they need their hand to be held because there's a lot to learn in Terraria. There is a lot to learn. That's fair. And you have to figure that all out before you start, trying some things that are more difficult. All right, next thing. All right, basically any boss can make a genuinely interesting, fun fight in the right circumstances, and many of them would need a few small changes to improve a lot. Cheesing bosses isn't a failure, it's a sandbox game after all. Oh, I like that take. That's a very nice one. All right. It's not that the bosses are too easy and therefore Terraria messed up. It's just that it's a game with so many options that there's going to be a method to cheese something, to make something very easy. I think they might be onto something here, I do think though worms might be a little too easy to cheese with so many options for cheese that it makes it's a little ridiculous almost. All bosses can be really difficult if you don't prepare properly for them. So that is very true. And once you start to know the game, you start to understand what the best, most optimal builds are. So you just keep on repeating those really good builds, and then you think the boss is at fault for being too easy because you know the best build and keep using the best build. Not acknowledging that not everybody knows what the best build is, doesn't know what their patterns are, or even how to make the best arena. Next hot take, it is very hot. The Angler is the best NPC. The Angler is the best NPC. Okay, Okay. Who are you? Where do I send my assassins? All right. What do you mean the Angler is the best NPC? Why is the Angler the best NPC? Hold up. Where are you getting this? Okay, hold on. I'm pulling up the Angler here. We get, carrot, a bunch of fishing gear. You can get wings. I mean, wings is a pretty big deal. Why is this in Spanish? Why was I in a Spanish translation? All right. But yeah, okay. And there's the bottomless honey stuff, which can be helpful. Gold net is nice. A lot of these things, though, are just building upon other things with Angler. Yeah, most of this is just building more of your fishing gear. And this isn't giving you much other than just more fishing stuff. Angler isn't the worst thing in the world. He really isn't. He's not as offensive to the senses as some people make him out to be. That is definitely true. He is not that bad. You can always just ignore him. You can always just never wake him up and he'll never be in your world. You don't even need to make a prison. Just don't wake him up. So for that reason, we'll say that is a based opinion. The Angler is just not a necessary NPC. Although, oh wait, no, the opinion was that he's the best NPC. No, not based. Not even a little based. He doesn't give you that good of stuff. He gives you more fishing things to do more quests. That's it. Keybrand. Now, when do you get the Keybrand, right? Keybrand is at Plantera, right? A hard mode dungeon. There we go. Hard mode dungeon. So you have the True Excalibur or the Keybrand. What do we got here? We'll just look at our DPS and only pay attention to DPS, all right? So we're around 3... Oh, it just keeps going down. All right, 300... Around a 300 minimum. All right. And then Keybrand. Now, Keybrand has a lot less range, but how does it make up for that in damage? Okay. This might be based. This might be pretty based. It's got pretty solid knockback. What is it? Critical strike. 30% critical strike. Ooh. Oh wait, deals more damage to injured foes. Oh, I missed that. Oh wait, that's actually sick. Hold on, how does this do against Golem then? What kind of damage does it do against this guy? Actually, not a lot. Now, what if I just switch to this? Okay, that's getting us around a solid 900. All right, switching to Keybrand. Not the fish hook. Okay, so it does do more damage, but that's only in an optimal situation. Keybrand's going to have a much harder time getting up close and personal, and it also has another issue that the True All Sword does not have. So your True All Sword goes wherever your mouse does. Keybrand, you're stuck in whatever direction you start with. So once you choose a direction, you have to stop attacking to switch directions, which can be a little hard to do on a dime, especially in the middle of a boss battle. So I can see this being very good. Like, hold on, if you combine this thing with the Nanite Flask, grab the Nanite Flask, all right, and then we get the armored skeletons, we do extra damage, we confuse everything we touch, and you just murder. Okay, bench, all right. That's fair. The Keybrand might be a little underrated. It actually does have some interesting use. It's a viable weapon. I don't know if it's good against any bosses. It's a little too short on the range front. But it's not a bad weapon.
Those were some pretty hot takes, and if you want to see even more of them, you can watch this video right here.